Hi, I'm Denise.
And I am Cheska.
And welcome to our podcast.
So the name of this series is called TREElogy. Yes, that is correct. TREElogy. And why, you ask? Because this podcast consists of 3 episodes that will be tackling deforestation. So imagine, diba? I got trilogy kasi diba kapag sa trilogy, syempre, sa books, tatlo siyang sequel. So dito kasi 3 episode kami.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about trees. Brains, right?
So, lahat ng yan ay ating mapag-uusapan sa ating first episode. This is just the start dahil sa mga susunod na episode ng ating podcast ay mag-i-invite kami ng isang expert to tackle how, why, and when did deforestation begin.
Yes, and by the end of our podcast, we hope to instill in the minds of our listeners to make it a habit to recycle properly, encourage other people to replace trees as they cut them, and of course, to learn how to love our surroundings.
So, ano nga ba ang deforestation? Deforestation is the loss of forest land for other purposes such as agricultural crops, urbanization, or mining operations around the world. In short, pagkakalbo ng gubat. Kaya ng ibang magsasaka na ginagawa nila yung kaingin na which is yung pagsusunog ng lupa para sa pagtatanim nila. Kaso, minsan, pag mali yung process na ginagawa nila, hindi din napapakinabangan yung lupa kasi masyado nang nadamage. Siyempre, sinunog mo yung lupa. Usually, yung first, yung tawag doon, yung patong ng lupa, pag sinunog mo yun, dapat magagamit pa nila yung sa below. Kaso minsan, pag, syempre hindi mo makokontrol yung fire, pati yung kailali-laliman ng layer ng lupa, nasusunog din. So, yun diba, sayang din. Or siguro masyadong mataas yung demand ng raw materials kaya mas nagha-harvest sila without replenishing the trees. Kasi syempre, di ba, kapag kumuha ka, papalitan mo yun para sa next time, may makukuha ka pa din. But the problem is that they don't do that. They just take and take without planning on planting for it to replenish.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so bad. It's like taking our nature for granted. Kaya alamin naman natin, di ba, na kung ano nga ba talaga ang kalagayan ng ating kagubatan. Since napasok naman na ni Denise yung mga bundok na nakakalbo, yung layers of soil, bigyan din natin ito ngayon ng details. So, according to Philippine Forestry statistics, the overall nation forest cover is roughly 7 million hectares or 23.38% of the country's total area of around 30 million hectares. So kung titignan nga natin yung estimation ng tree reproduction compared sa loss of trees, mas mabilis talagang magputol ng puno kaysa mag-restore ng mga puno. So forest loss has an impact on the nation's ability to produce goods and ecosystem services as well as a significant contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. So guys, walang humihigop ng baha. Di ba? Walang nagsishelter sa atin sa UV rays. Wala. So, di ba?
Masaklap, di ba?
Ang saklap lang.
So, the impact of deforestation in the span of years mentioned is very significant. Kaya, we should really give importance to our nature. Kasi in the end, tayo din naman na maapektuhan in a form of a calamity. In a form of a nature's wrath, di ba? Like, bakit ba tayo nagkakaroon ng landslide? Bakit ba bumabaha maliban sa faulty drainage system design? Bakit sobrang init sa earth? Like, do you feel me, Cheska?
Alam mo, feel kita kasi sobrang init talaga recently. God, my God. Alam mo yung kakaligo mo lang, tapos, di ba, kaka-shower mo lang and everything, prop mo pa lang, tapos lalabas ka pa lang ng bahay, sobrang tagaktak ka na ng pawis.
Hindi na kinakain ng halo-halo, guys.
Hindi na rin kinakain ng mais con hielo, as in, hindi talaga. So, bakit nga ba kailangan natin to i-replenish or why do we have to save our forest, Denise?
Well, of course, trees produce water. According to studies, the forest provides 70% of the world's water. Evaporation is a process that allows trees to continue the water cycle. In simple terms, it takes water from the earth and releases it as small droplets in the environment, after which the droplets ascend and cool to form clouds, which then bring rain. So parang ano yun, tinatawag nila nung elementary tayo, water cycle na tinatawag.
Yung may
Diba?
mga condensation, evaporation.
Lahat
ano?
ng Sean nandun, girl.
Yeah, Shaun the Sheep.
So, ayun nga, yung ano pa doon, forests help reduce the risk of flooding. So, forests provide beautiful land cover and slow down stormwater discharge. And at the same time, it absorbs and stores extra water for later use. As a result, forests can help to reduce the risk of floods by slowing the flow of water from the hills and mountains into streams and rivers. It also aids the Earth's ability to absorb and release water in a consistent manner. So pangatlo, rainforests are great medicine sources. The rainforest provides the majority of pharmaceutical items and crucial medicines. More than a quarter of the world's medications are said to be found in the
Talaga
forest,
ba?
plant, and animal life. Yes, girl. At pang-apat, stopping deforestation is one of the biggest steps in addressing global warming. Yun na nga, kaya mainit, friend. Alam mo yan?
Okay, gets.
So each and every individual bears responsibilities for combating global warming and climate change. Kasi they go together. We must conserve trees in every corner of the planet if we are to work together to meet this goal. So we will be able to lessen the occurrence of damaging weather components such as droughts, heat waves, floods, tsunamis, and hurricanes, which represent significant economic and health hazards in the long run. And lastly, panglima, humans, plants, and animals rely on the forest for survival. More than half of the world's plants and animals find refuge in forests. So at the same time, woods provides a living for over 1 billion people. Imagine that. Of the 1 billion people, 60 million are indigenous people who are virtually entirely reliant on the forest. So as a result, deforestation has a direct impact on millions of plants, animals, and even humans, and must be halted at all costs.
Okay, so, teka lang ipaprocess ko lang yung mga sinabi mo.
Diba? Ang dami, friend.
So, the role of our forest is more important than I imagined. Like, ang dami palang nagagawa nito, no?
Sobra. As in, hindi mo siya marirealize until ma-discuss mo siya and ma-research mo siya na, wow, ito pala connected sa ganito, sa ganyan.
Oo, tsaka nararamdaman din natin siya over the years eh. Kasi hindi naman ganito kainit yung summer natin kasi ngayon. Yung init kasi ngayon sobrang, alam mo yun, ramdam mo eh. It's like neighbor mo yung sun.
Actually, parang, diba, hindi naman, kahit naman sabihin natin nasa tropical island tayo and malapit tayo sa equator, masasabi mong bearable pa yung init ng panahon. Pero ngayon, alam mo yun, nahi-heat stroke na yung mga tao, nagkakaroon na sila ng mga sakit. Talagang ramdam mo na talaga na it's time for a change.
We must change this bad habit. So since nalaman na nga natin yung importance nito, dapat alamin din natin and sana maugalian rin natin na magtapon ng maayos, magyakap ng puno, di ba?
You gotta give love, you know?
Yeah, you know, even trees need love, di ba? Kaya kung single ka, wala ka namang mahanap na kamatch, hirap nun ngayon eh. Kasi you know, wala rin eh. So
Swipe
why not
right,
give
diba?
that love, di ba? Invest that love to nature. Pabalik din naman yan sa'yo eh, in the form of sheltering us from UV rays, sponging some of the flood that falls from high mountains or mga bundok, stuff like those that would harm us. So, why should we act now? Kasi bakit hindi? Diba?
Why not, diba?
Why not? Why the not? So, kasi it can cause the loss of biodiversity. So, what is biodiversity? These are tropical rainforests that cover only 6% of the Earth's surface area. Okay, so to avoid flooding and drought. So, when there is significant rainfall, forests can absorb and store large volumes of water quickly. So, yun nga, guys, sila yung humihigop nga.
The straw, you know?
They're straw. They are our nature, our natural guardians of the freaking galaxy. Okay? So, also, they prevent soil erosion eh. So, due to the lack of nutrients, when the soil is exposed to the sun, syempre natutuyot, di ba? Nagda-drought nga tayo. So, it is a result of deforestation talaga. So, it becomes highly dry and infertile. Ang hirap naman doon, di ba? Kung baog ang Mother Nature.
Yes. Kulang sa
Okay.
dilig, my friend.
Yes, so when it rains, it also washes away the rest of the nutrients. Wow. So which go into streams with the rainwater. So ayun. Isa rin yung climate change. Okay, so because trees collect carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So yung toxic air na is, detrimental to our health. They soak that up, they absorb that as well para safe tayo makahinga. So, okay.
Marami naman pala tayong paraan how to prevent deforestation. Kinakailangan lang talaga natin ng matinding pag-aaral about it para masolusyonan natin ang problema ito.
Oo, tama. Kasi in the end, tayo pa rin ang magbe-benefit dito eh. Di ba? So, pag may dumating na kalamidad, walang aksidente sa mga lugar na tulad ng mga kung saan nakatira yung mga indigenous people sa mga bundok, di ba?
Hindi naman totally natin maiwasan yung accidents. Pero syempre, di ba, ma-minimize. Diba?
Malesen kumbaga.
So, sana rin ma-apply hindi lang nila, kundi natin lahat. Yung mga sinabi natin about the prevention. So, Cheska, ano ba ang mga natutunan mo for today's episode?
I learned that trees really do have a significant impact in the lives of humans. Hindi lang natin to napapansin kasi nga we're more of more on nag-focus tayo sa business, politics, diba? Our well-being, pero kasi di natin sila masyado na acknowledge and nag-give ng credit. Yung mga puno talaga. They absorb the floods, they absorb toxic air that can cause the lack of carbon dioxide, which is yun nga, it's really bad. So, they provide oxygen for us. So, yun. Sobrang halaga pala ng mga puno talaga.
Sana all mahalaga. Ganon.
Sana talaga all. Sana puno na lang sana plants na lang tayo, no?
Pwede rin.
Alright, so thank you for listening for today's episode, guys. For sure na-refresh naman kayo sa aming
Sana tinanong mo kung may natutunan ako, di ba?
sige, so ano nga, ikaw, Denise, ano nga ba natutunan mo for today's episode?
So, yun lang, na everything is directly proportional, na it has domino effects. Na ang isang problema at sakuna na di naagapan, naalagaan at nalunasan, lumalala siya at nahahawaan ang iba. Na nagkakos ng other problems in our environment and in our surroundings. To the point na even yung next generation will suffer if we don't take any step na at least to give attention or prevention man lang, di ba? Tsaka sabi nga nila, prevention is better than cure. And for me, maintenance is the key. Kasi kahit ano pang solusyon magawa mo, kung ano pang maimbento mo, hindi yan one time, big time na, alam mo, it takes time and progress to heal until ma-achieve yung goal natin. So,
tama. Diba? Kahit nga sa pag-move on natin alam mo yun?
Diba? It takes time and progress to heal.
Yes.
Tsaka parang alam mo yun, yung parang palabas ni Wall-E na yun yung sa nature na naging tambak na ng basura na.
Oo, alam ko yun. Yeah.
Ayoko na mag-talk.
Baka makapagsabi lang ako ng
masasamang words. Charot. So, ayun nga, diba? Kailangan lang natin ng progress and patience.
Di naman kailangan sobrang drastic change.
Small steps lang,
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so yun na. Thank you for listening for today's episode. For sure, na-refresh naman kayo sa mga aming na-discuss.
So ayun, until next time, abangan niyo uli ang aming next episode. Again, I'm Denise.
And I am Cheska.
And this is TREElogy.
TREElogy.
Bye guys.